Hi, everybody. Master trainer and wellness enthusiast Kiona Leah back with you guys again for another one of our HBK Wellness Wednesdays. If you've been following my page all week long, then you know I have been so excited to share this information with you tonight. And more and more, I am seeing how much I really need it and how much I am putting these techniques to their limits this week. I don't know about you guys, but for me, this arguably is the most stressful week of the year. This year is no exception. I don't know if it's a benefit or not that I have always had a relatively disconnected and long distance family. So I never actually have to arrange to see everybody in one day on Christmas Day. But what I do have to do is get the gifts together, get them ordered, get them mailed, get them shipped, all of that stuff. And the post office and shipping places are absolutely bonkers right now. So it's adding to getting that done. But the reality is, I'm working on delivering gifts tonight, which is why all of this is pre-recorded on all of my platforms, not just YouTube and Vimeo. But I should get it out before the 26th of December, and some years I haven't. That tells you how stressed out I usually am this week of the year and leading up to it as well. Last Sunday, I was doing work on trying to start determining what seeds I want to plant now to grow into the new year and beyond. And one of the things that came up was balance. So I started really working on some intentions. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I do New Year's intentions. And I thought my intention is balance. I really want to bring more balance into what I'm doing. There are so many things I love to do, even still during lockdown, without all the dancing that I used to do before you guys got to see me so often on social media. But that will probably come back, having more of this, but not being up too late editing. Of course, working well and focused at my regular daytime job and taking care of being with my family and my friends and my loved ones and taking care of my little fuzzy babies all need to be able to happen, and I need to be able to get sleep. And it's amazing how when you just put the ideas out there, how things can come back to you. Not an exaggeration. 2 days later, this random YouTube video starts auto-playing. And it was this amazing neuroscientist talking for 2 hours about all of the new and innovative discoveries they are making in his lab about the human brain. And this stuff just fascinates me. I have really been following neuroscience, and in particular, the plasticity of our neurons and reprogramming the brain, probably for about 6 or 7 years now, on and off, and working with some of those techniques. And in this video, he had 2 techniques that were so almost instantaneous for down-regulating the nervous system. I had to put them into practice immediately, and I knew I had to share them with you guys as well. And this is the perfect week to do it. So, item number 1 is 2 breaths in, 1 breath out. What he talked about in the video was something that we talk about a lot in the postural restoration work that I do. So you guys have heard me talk about this from time to time, this 360 breathing. But what he talked about is, if you're sitting there right now, are you thinking about your breathing? Not until I said it, were you? No, of course not. We have a reflexive ability to just breathe. The diaphragm, that diaphragmatic muscle, it moves up and down without our conscious control, much like our heart rate. However, if I said to you, inhale, you could do it, couldn't you? That is all controlled by your diaphragm. So the diaphragm is an extremely unique muscle in our system that it will fire automatically, continuously, both when we're awake and when we're asleep, which not everyone has that ability. I went on a dolphin cruise while on vacation, and our ship captain talked about the fact that dolphins do not have that ability. If they are not awake, they do not breathe. So they only sleep 1/2 of their brain at a time. We get to go to sleep and breathe because that diaphragm does that for us no matter what. But if we want to use it to downregulate our our nervous system and our brain, we absolutely have that ability. The second piece of that is not just suddenly bringing our focus to that and this basically life-giving experience of getting breath in our body that we have, but the other piece of that is when you do those 2 inhales, instead of just inhaling once and letting that air go, you do 2 inhales. What that does is it utilizes more of your lung capacity. Another thing that actually we learned on our cruise was dolphins, when they breathe, they exchange 90% of the air in their lungs in one breath. Humans, on average, exchange 25 to 35% of the air in your lungs in a breath. That is not very much capacity. So we are going to increase that capacity by inhaling twice in a row and then exhaling. That is then going to pull a lot more carbon dioxide out of our blood, which is going to calm our body chemistry down and balance us out. And that in turn is going to help balance and calm the nervous system and the brain. Let's do it together just for a couple breaths and see what happens. Let's do our 360 breathing. So go ahead and get those hands on those rib cage. You know me, I like to have the fingers on the front, wrap my thumbs around to the back so I can feel everything, and then spread those fingers down, down, down. Let me give you a little more view. There you go. From the top of the rib cage down, down, down towards those hips. Now breathe in and expand those hands in all directions. Inhale. Now inhale again. Didn't know you had that extra room, did you? Now exhale. Pull those hands together, guide them down towards your belly button. Good. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. 360. Inhale again. Exhale. Bringing that all the way down, 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 down. Now you notice on that second exhale, we do start to get up into the neck and shoulders, creating that lift. That's okay because we have different focus than we do with our normal postural restoration. Let's do 2 more. Here we go. Inhale all the way around. Do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it all in and down. Here's our very last one. Do you start to feel it into your back a lot more on your second exhale? I do. Inhale. Do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Bring, let it all come down, 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 down. Do you feel the difference? It really brings that nervous system right down. It is so quick. It can happen in as little as 1 of those. I like to think of them as double breaths. It can happen that quickly. When I'm really stressed out, sometimes I need about 5, but it doesn't take a lot. It does not take many of those double inhale, single exhales to bring everything down so you can start to focus or refocus on what you're doing. Here's our second one, and this takes even less time, but it is to defocus your brain. And he goes into a very long explanation about defocusing in general and how defocusing or widening our scope of what we're doing, both cognitively and visually, because of course we all know that our eyes are an extremely powerful pathway to our brains. A lot of times when we need to think about something or we're working on something, we'll close our eyes or we'll look down. We're going to start to block that visual field in order to calm the brain and the body down. But the other thing we can do without closing our eyes is rather than stay focused. So right now I'm really focused and I'm looking right at you. If I instead broaden my gaze, and now you can see I'm sort of looking much more nebulously. All of a sudden, my peripheral vision is much wider. So here's the deal. I'm going to use my hands as a cue. So I'm looking at you, and I'm going to bring my hands to my peripheral vision. There's my peripheral vision right here. Now I'm going to broaden my gaze. And now I get to move my hands out a whole bunch wider. Look at that. By broadening my gaze, that also downregulates the brain in a major way. And there is a beautiful section about that in this video. But I just wanted to share the tip with you. The link is below for this amazing video. And there, I learned so many fantastic things about the brain, and I am going to be re-listening to this more than once and probably have more tips for you guys from this video as well. What else do you guys want to talk about? Monday, the 28th is our final Monday freebie, which of course means we have no actual topic. We're just going straight through the TTAP method basics. And that means it's up for anything for next week. What do you guys want to talk about? I know there had been some questions about some dietary stuff, but I didn't get feedback about that. So comment below and tell me what you guys want to work on. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe if you're new to any of the channels. In the meantime, I'm Kiona Leah. I want to see you move, live, and thrive, and have happy holidays. If I already missed it, I'm sorry. If not, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you before the new year.